Okay, you will be creating a stained glass project. Each of your projects is different. Please draw your lines neatly and nicely, label your lines, color in neatly and nicely, and you'll turn out with a beautiful project. Okay, here's Mr. Slope Guy. When we have a positive slope, our line goes this way. When we have a negative slope, our line slopes down. A vertical line is for undefined. That's why we have a U here for his nose. And a horizontal line is a zero slope. That's why we have these little zeros for his mouth. Okay, so you are going to create a stained glass project. Each of your equations are different than mine. All right, but here is the basic steps on how to do this. Okay, the top three of these, the first three, I'll say x is equal to some number. Okay, whatever number you have, you're going to write that number 5 times where it says x. Okay, so on mine, I have -5. You probably have a different number. Okay, but whatever your number is, you're going to write it 5 times right here. I've given you the y value, so all you have to do is just put these numbers together to get your ordered pair. Okay, there's nothing that you have to do in this section. All right, you're just going to take this value, which whatever x is equal to, write it 5 times. I've given you the y. You put the x and y together, and it gives you the ordered pair. And then you're going to graph these points on your graph paper. Okay, so I have ordered pair -5, 17. So I'm going to come over here to -5 and go up to 17, and I'm going to put a point. Then I have -5, 12. So I'm going to go to -5 and up to 12. Sorry. And -5 and 0. So -5 and 0. I have -5 and -12. And I have -5 and -17. So all of my points are when x is equal to -5. Okay, this is going to make my vertical line. Okay, I'm just going to connect my points. So for each table, you want to plot your points and then connect them. Okay, plot your points and then connect them. This line goes on for forever. So I'm going to put little arrows there. Okay, this line goes on for forever. You're going to extend your line across your whole graph. All right, so this is my first one. On my table, I have shaded in this point here because this is where I want you to label at -5 and 17 or whatever your number is. So at -5 and 17, that was this point here. So I'm going to label this as x is equal to -5. That's my equation. Your equation will say x is equal to -3 or 9 or whatever. Okay, so that's how we do the first 3. Okay, so all of these, this top row here, okay, they're all vertical lines. According to Mr. Slope Guy, when we have vertical lines, this is undefined. Okay, so your slope on all 3 of these is undefined. All right, and no matter what your x is equal to, you're not going to cross the y-axis. So we do not have a y-intercept. So all 3 of these are going to be none. Okay, that's the first 3. All right, the next 3, okay, these I'll say y equals something. All right, so whatever your number is, you're going to write it 5 times where it says y equal. I've given you the x. So mine is 6. So I'm going to write this 6 times. Or sorry, 5 times. Okay, and then I'm going to put these ordered pairs together. -12 and 6. -7 and 6. And so on. Okay, so I wind up with 5 ordered pairs. That's what you're going to do for each of these. So whatever your number is, you're going to write it where y is. Okay, so now I'm going to plot these points. All right, so my first one is -12 and a +6. So -12 and +6. -7 and +6. 0 and 6. 7 and 6. And 12 and 6. So this line is everywhere that y is 6. So this gives me a horizontal line. Okay, so I draw this line all the way across my graph. This line goes on for forever, so I'm putting my arrows on the end. All right, so on these three, okay, I've highlighted where x is 12. That's over here, where x is 12. This is where I'm going to label this one. So this one for me is y is equal to 6. Okay? This is a horizontal line. Okay? According to Mr. Slope Guy, a horizontal line gives us a 0 slope. So all of these are going to have a 0 slope. This is 3. This is going to give you 3 horizontal lines here. Whatever this is equal to is your y-intercept. Okay? I-intercept the y-axis right here at 6, because y equals to 6. So this is my y-intercept. So whatever your number is, that's your y-intercept. That's how you do these three. Okay, the next three, these three are going to give you a positive slope. So all of these are going to slope like this. All right, so these three give me a positive slope. These three give me a negative slope. Okay, they're all negatives. So they're going to slope like this. All right. Okay, so now we're going to use our calculator. So whatever you have written here is what you're going to put into your calculator. And these directions are right here. Okay, how you use your calculator. All right, so you're going to go to y equal. You're going to put this in 2x minus 7 or whatever yours says. So 2x is right here. This is minus 7. If your sign is in the middle, it's a minus sign. If your sign is at the very beginning, it's the negative sign, which is below the 3. All right, so I've put this into y equal. If I hit second and graph, it gives me the table of values. If I just hit graph, it's going to show me what the line looks like. So I should be drawing a line that looks like this. All right, so second and graph gives me the table. I'm going to fill in the points. These are the x's I want you to use because those are the ones that fit on the graph. So when x is -4, I get -15. Okay, then I'm going to find x is -2. When x is -2, my y is -11. When x is 0, my y is -7. When x is 2, my y is -3. And I'm going to scroll down and find 4. When x is 4, my y is 1. Okay, so that's going to give me my ordered pairs. Okay, all you have to do is plot these ordered pairs. All right, so I have -4 and -15, which is way down here. I have -2 and -11. I have 0 and -7. That's my y-intercept. I have +2 and -3. And I have +4 and +1. Okay, so take your table, plot your points, connect your points. Okay, and I'm going to draw my arrow because this goes on for forever. All right, so on this one, I want you to write your equation when x is 0. So at the y-intercept. So here's my y-intercept, and this equation is y is equal to 2x minus 7. That's what I've graphed. All right, and if I look at my calculator and go back to the graph, okay, my graph looks like their graph. All right, so an equation is written, or our equations are written anyway, in slope-intercept form. Y is equal to mx plus b. M is the slope. B is the y-intercept. Okay, so the number in front of the x is your slope. In my case, the number in front of the x is a 2, so I have a slope of 2. The number after the x is the y-intercept, so my y-intercept is negative 7. Yours will be whatever your equation says. Okay, so for these last 6, these 3 are positive slope, these 3 are negative slope. Okay, and then you're just going to fill this in. Just fill in your table, plot your points, draw your line, label your line, and then color it in. Your final steps is to color in your project, trace over your lines with black, make sure everything is labeled, make sure that your beautiful creation is neatly and nicely done.